what's the way, spectators? So I'm making this video because I kind of want to talk about the WWE and TNA working relationship, which I honestly think is a solid W, and never in a million years would I ever expect to see WWE, number one, working with outside wrestling companies. Thank you, Triple H. And number two, the simple fact that TNA and WWE are working together. So yeah, let's talk about it. But before I do, if you're new here, do not get left out of the loop. Catch a vibe, like and subscribe, join Notification Nation, and get busy in the comments. Help me get to 500 subscribers so I can get to 1,000 so I can keep growing. Trying to get this channel up there brick by brick. Now, I just want to, before I talk about what I think about this working relationship, I want to talk about my experience with TNA for the past 20 years. I remember around 2007 and 2008, TNA popped up on the scene. I could be wrong, it could be sooner, but either way, at the same time when TNA popped up on the scene, I felt really burned out and frustrated and kind of just really uninterested in a lot of what was going on with WWE's product at the time. Because let's see, I started watching wrestling when I want to say 12, 13 years old in 2002, and everything from 2002 to 2004, I felt like majority of it was pretty solid and good, like good and stuff. That is the Ruthless Aggression era. But slowly around 05, 06, 07, the product changed, and there were certain things that, well, now as an adult, I appreciate a lot more. And there were just certain things about WWE's product that I did not like. And when TNA popped up on the scene, I was like, holy crap, what is this new wrestling show? I remember after Raw moved, yeah, I think it was 2000. And no, it had to be either 2007. I'm making this video at the top of my head, so I'm not trying to search up when TNA popped up on Fight TV. But I do remember immediately after Raw left TNN, which was Fight TV. I'm not sure if it's still around anymore. TNA filled that void, and I remember watching the first couple episodes of TNA. I think they were on Saturday night, and I was like, what the heck is this new wrestling promotion? I remember seeing AJ Styles for the first time, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, Monty Brown. Like, shout out to Monty Brown. I just gotta say that real quick. Buddy was swagged out, and Buddy was great on the mic, and the pounce move, phenomenal move. I'm glad my girl Willow Nightingale is adopting that as her finisher. But anyway, let me get back to TNA. I saw Jeff Jarrett, because like I don't remember watching a lot of WCW and WWF. I remember starting to watch wrestling and remembering and starting a real passion for it was September 02. So yeah, anyway, and that was like when TNA was, like I said, it was on Saturdays. They didn't have the world championship yet. They were still part of the NWA when the NWA still was a territory, and everybody, not everybody, where it was still respected in the wrestling world. And I remember also why I think this partnership is so uncanny and I never expected it would happen is the simple fact that I remember TNA used to take heavy shots at WWE because there were a lot of ex-WWE guys there, ex-WWE girls and whatnot. I remember R-Truth when he was still Raw the Truth Killings and TNA, and he dissed John Cena. And I remember Road Dogg and Billy Gunn when they were by their TNA names, where they like pulled up to the WWE headquarters. They actually showed it on TNA. And also I remember TNA superstars pulling up on WWE superstars who were filming a commercial for the Royal Rumble. Yeah, I remember that. So it's just great that TNA is working with WWE. And also, I forgot to mention this. I can't forget about Sting pulling up on TNA. That was fire. Christian's running and TNA was fire after he left WWE. I feel like TNA that was like him being in TNA really started appreciating Christian as a good wrestler. And when he popped back up in WWE after he left TNA, I was pissed off because I thought that TNA utilized him a lot better. Well, it was cool that him being the ECW champion, but when he moved to Smackdown after ECW folded, I just thought they did him dirty. How he won the world championship after Edge had retired it, and then he lost it immediately on Smackdown. Anyway, deviating off topic. I'm completely DNA off topic. Going down memory lane does that, man. I'm gonna do that a lot in these videos. But anyway, I think that this WWE and TNA relationship is a solid W. And because TNA is like slowly trying to rebuild itself, just like recently, earlier this year, rebranding from Impact Wrestling back to TNA. That was a stupid idea from stupid management that had no right being there. I will always hold a grudge against Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan for coming in and just like messing up a good thing what TNA had going on. But I feel like this will help get people to start watching TNA, and even getting people who, like me, used to watch TNA growing up in the late 2000s, who probably stopped watching as soon as it got pulled off Spike TV. They say, hey, I might just check this out again. Especially since a lot of people are kind of tuned out at AEW. I'm kind of showing my age, but yeah, I feel like this is just a slow burn, and it'll just eventually just snowplow eventually. I thought Jordan Grace appearing at the Royal Rumble, I remember watching it live, and I'm like, ain't no freaking way she's here. And then her popping up on NXT recently, I thought, holy shit. And I remember watching that episode live as well. I missed out on the NXT episode where Joel Hendry appeared, but I went back to watch the segment on YouTube, and now that goddamn song is stuck in my fucking head. So I think that I gotta remember Frank Kazarian too. Shout out to Frank Kazarian. So I feel like this is just a slow burn, and that's gonna just compound, and then maybe one day we might see NXT and TNA co-branded PLE, or maybe like a TNA invasion type angle eventually one day. I would love to see Nick Nemeth, the former Dolph Ziggler, maybe like lead the charge from a TNA invasion as having resentment for all those times. And WWE only get released and WWE kind of fumbling the bag with his character. But that's just a suggestion though. Or I would love to see Moose pop up on NXT and challenge Trick Williams for the NXT Championship. Not too long after the Jordan Grace and Roxanne Perez angle, I thought that maybe that the world champion of TNA could have a match with the current NXT champion concurrently with each other. And while we haven't seen a lot more TNA wrestlers yet, I just feel like WWE doesn't want to give us too much too soon, and eventually that we're going to see more TNA wrestlers. But I'm enjoying, and I'm pretty sure that, of course it is, the reception to this partnership is very positive, and I feel like both parties are benefiting from this. WWE is borrowing some TNA wrestlers, and TNA is reaping the benefits of it because that's more exposure to more people, more eyes on their product. So it's a very mutual and beneficial relationship on both sides. And honestly, I felt like AEW really dropped the ball with their relationship with TNA. I felt like AEW really dropped the ball with their relationship with TNA when it was still called Impact Wrestling, because it started off pretty strong, and we saw Kenny Omega pop up on Impact. We saw the Impact tag titles being defended on Dynamite. So yeah, I'm just really glad that we still have TNA around in 2024, and I'm probably going to start tuning into some episodes, because like when they rebranded as TNA at the top of the year, like I told myself, like I'm gonna try to check it out a little bit more often, and especially when I saw Dolph Ziggler pop up in TNA. So I was like, and I was a big Dolph Ziggler fan, and I just thought it was terrible how he got utilized poorly during his time in WWE, and I felt like his stock should have been a lot higher, and he should have never fired Dolph Ziggler, man. Like him, The Miz, Sheamus, and like a few other guys, Drew McIntyre, like I feel like you gotta keep these experienced guys around, especially who have such a long tenure with the company. But yeah, I'm really hoping that we see a lot more, and I know for a fact that WWE is slowly just building up to something great with this WWE and TNA partnership. So what do you guys think of the partnership between TNA and WWE so far? What are any dream matches that you would love to see? Also, too, if AJ Styles pops up in TNA and have one final run, I was definitely locking in and tuning in every week. But yeah, I'm going to interview with that. You guys get busy in the comments. I would love to hear your opinion about what's going down in Florida with Impact and NXT. So yeah, I'm in the video. You guys, we are Spectrum Media. Stay tuned, stay lit, and stay wavy. Peace.